Match number 39 of the Tata IPL 2025. Another week has gone by and we have got some thrilling encounters as well. Your thoughts on, I have Orko with me. Orko, welcome to the show. Your thoughts on how the Kolkata Knight Riders are facing at the moment. Are you happy? Are you sad with a little bit of coach inclusion as well? Abhishek Nair, who was removed from the BCCI Indian setup, is now back, as rightly mentioned, for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Similarly, what a loss it was at Mulanpur.
Well, it was heartbreaking. I mean, in my 17-year journey as a KKR fan, I think it was the worst night. I mean, we have seen similar instances in the past. If you remember in 2021, in the first leg before the COVID break, we collapsed in Chepauk versus Mumbai Indians. We were chasing just around 30 from 27 and we lost wickets in heaps and we lost. Then if you go back in time, that match between Rajasthan and KKR, we were
Correct.
121 for 1. Suddenly we became 123 for 5 or
Was it
6.
was it
Praveen
Praveen
Tambe took
Tambe
a
then?
yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
Praveen Tambe took a hat trick, and I think I've seen all those live. Sadly, unfortunately, I would say. But again, the team has always come back from such situations very strongly. After that Praveen Tambe massacre, they ended up winning 9 on the trot, including the trophy. Even in
Correct.
2021, when this happened, then came the COVID break, and post that,
Correct.
Venkatesh Iyer was brought into the scene. KKR went into the final. So if you look at those trails, these kind of moves certainly change the complete momentum of KKR. They have a tendency of coming back. Even last year against the same team, 262 was chased down, but then came KKR, who became such an unbeatable force and won the championship. So I'm not saying that they'll really go on to do that thing once again. I hope they do, but maybe not. But I do believe that this team has the capacity to come back, and who knows, tonight might be just the night.
It could be the night for the Knights at their own den, but the way they are playing, we talked about a lot about RRR so far around. Now questions are arising about whether Ramandeep Singh should have been retained or not. Was it the right choice? Russell's horrendous form continues with both bat and ball. He should have finished off the game versus Punjab Kings. Rinku, the way he got dismissed against Yuzvendra Chahal in the previous game. Are you also concerned about your middle order?
Definitely. I mean, you have a lot of big names, but they're not firing. And if you look at all the 4 losses that we had, even against RCB, we were set for going to 200 plus, but then we got bundled for 170. The same problem being the middle order. Even against Mumbai Indians, we got off to a sort of a start, but then again, we collapsed in the middle order and we ended up with 117. The same happened even against Lucknow. We were very much set to chase down 240, but then a middle order crumbling led to this. And to
Correct.
end it up all against Punjab. I think we had the worst possible night any middle order could see. So certainly questions will be raised, and the team management and the players would be scrutinized deeply. And we, as you previously stated, Abhishek Nair has joined the mix. I think his inclusion would benefit the Indian players per se, because a lot of Indian players, even moments ago, we saw Rohit Sharma thanking Abhishek Nair, for some technical tweaks that he helped him undergo. Even a few days ago, KL Rahul did the same. Many players have thanked him in the past. Certainly, the Indian core, which we have in the middle order, Russell's form obviously is a concern, and some people may say he's past his prime. I believe that there is still a bit of cricket left in him, at least for this season. I hope so. If not, maybe they have a Robman Powell, one for the future, a similar
Correct.
player like Russell. A little bit, less in terms of bowling, but also he's no stranger to bowling either. But he's a very good, gifted batsman, a big hitter. So maybe KKR might look at him, if not immediately, but one for the future. But with Abhishek Nair, I think things are bound to improve, and hopefully tonight is the night.
Could be, but an unwanted record for the Knights is that whenever Moin Ali has been involved in the playing 11, KKR have won the game. Whenever Moin Ali has not been included in the playing 11 so far in the season, KKR have gone not to win the game. And Enric Nokia played in the previous game. Finally, good to see him back into the side. But first, more importantly, let's take a look at the head to head between GT and KKR in the IPL. Very thin, I must tell you. It's just a margin of 2-1 for the Titans. But what cricket are the Gujarat Titans playing? You can never rule them out, it seems like. And earlier they had Hardik Pandya, now Shubman Gill. Is it more than captaincy? Is it that man wearing shots outside the fence, the head coach? Do you give more credit to him?
Absolutely. I think there's something in Nehra people may associate it with luck or maybe proper strategizing. Whatever players they have, they somehow just overperform than what you expect out of them. So I think that's what's happening, and it's good. Obviously, you want franchise cricket to be that way. in which players who are considered lower in terms of hype overperform, and I think that's what is happening with Gujarat. They don't have a big name in fast bowling from a foreign perspective, but still the Indian names are doing the talking. Prasid is in the form of his life.
I
Siraj
was
is
about to
also doing
come there.
pretty well. Yeah,
I was
Siraj is
about to
doing
come.
well,
What
and
bowling is Prasid Krishna bowling here?
absolutely, and I think he always had the potential. He's that typical back of the length third seamer kind of material, and Ahmedabad is a track that always suited him. Even when he played for India in international cricket, he has always done well in Ahmedabad. So I think that's something which needs to be credited. And as rightly said by Rohan Bhaiya, Gill's captaincy. I mean, you always need to also give enough credit to the captain. I am myself a KKR fan, where people didn't maybe credit the previous captain for the trophy, but Gill certainly deserves a lot of credit. Even if you look at the previous season, the first game they won against Mumbai, they were
Hmm.
certainly nowhere near winning, but certainly that captaincy changes which Gill gave,
Correct.
giving Umesh Yadav the last over, and that completely changed the game in the favor of the Titans. So there is certainly something about Gill's
Even in the
captaincy.
previous game, I must tell you, even in the previous one, if you take back to the game versus Delhi Capitals, Delhi were cruising at one stage, 20 to 20 to 30 probably was on the cards. In the last over of the match, of the innings, he gave Sai Kishore the only over, the first and the only over. And he's a very smart bowler. And I think he conceded less than 10 runs in the last over. That could have been the turning point. Though GT chased it down with 4 balls to spare, but anything could have been possible out there. Similarly, you talk about SRH was CSK versus MI yesterday. Santner was given the ball at that crucial stage by Hardik Pandya. So these tweaks are now coming as the games progresses. Do you think the saliva is helping seamers as well? Because we're seeing a lot of reverse swing nowadays.
Definitely, saliva is definitely helping seamers a lot these days. Even yesterday, a few Yorkers from Bumrah did showcase a bit of reverse swing, and the biggest exponent I would say in the recent past has been Avesh Khan. I mean, the way he bowled in the death against Mumbai and also in the previous game against Rajasthan,
Rajasthan
he was
Royals,
just
yeah.
nailing those Yorkers with perfect reverse swing
You
acting in the
talk
mix.
about
So
your
certainly,
ex-player in the super over, Mitchell Stark.
absolutely. I mean, he's no stranger to swing and reverse swing, and especially when he bowls to left-handers, I think his Yorkers are a bit more accurate than it is to the right-handers, and that's where Hetmeyer got completely nailed on that point of
Correct.
time. So it's nice, as I always believe, that cricket should be an even game where bowlers also get assistance, and it's nice that we are seeing saliva being in the mix. We are seeing bats also being checked. So certainly, in a game that's already very much threatening for the bowlers, if you make such kind of
True.
changes or such kind of rules, I think it will only make the game an even affair.
Absolutely. I really like the way now the officials are taking the game, checking bats, not allowing players to leave the field after completing the spell, which happened with Ishan Sharma. Understandably, he was suffering from the heat, but still, it's the law of the game. You need to go on with that. Fair enough. Let's take a look in the playing surface of the Eden Gardens. What does the pitch curator of Kolkata Knight Riders have in mind? We're not sure what Shujan Mukherjee has in mind in as of now, Rohan Orko, sorry, but 200 has been breached twice, and we won't be surprised if we see many more 200 plus score at the Eden Gardens because it's now becoming a belter of a surface. Once at a day game where Nikki P put up a show, once at the evening game where it was a wonderful batting display by the Kolkata Knight Riders against the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Your thoughts so far around what do you think could be possible today? Are you expecting a surface similar to the one that was played against Sunrisers?
Well, I think so. I mean, it will largely be batting friendly, but a bit of grip and turn might be possible. So you need to bat well to, get the runs. Whoever the team is, be it KKR or the opposition, they have to bat well. And that's what Venkatesh Iyer did that day against SRH. And that's how we got that mammoth score. Maybe we wouldn't have ended up with that big of a score. And of course, our bowlers also got an amount of resistance. But that being said, we cannot make a big hue and cry and ask for a very spin friendly pitch, a rank
Correct.
turner, because if you make such kind of strategies and fall into your own fishing net, then that will be a problem
Are
because
you
your
going to
own
ask
middle
for a
order,
dry pitch now after watching your own batting order collapse versus Punjab Kings?
maybe not. I mean, if you don't make some amends, if the coaching staff doesn't improve our spin game, or who knows if they bring someone like Manish Pandey in the mix to handle the spin
Possible.
threat, unless such kind of things happen, I think that KKR would think twice, and anyone from KKR would think twice before asking for a complete rank turner.
Absolutely. I don't think so. Might be a similar track like Sunrises, might be a fresh one, but I'm expecting a high scoring game, mind you. Before I move on to the players to watch out for, as you know, Orko, strategic timeout section. Three questions, 60 seconds. Your time starts now, and here are the questions in your screen. Shubman Gill, who is having a homecoming return in the Eden Gardens, or Ajinkya Rahane? Which skipper do you think will score more runs today?
Well, Ajinkya has been phenomenal in the Eden Garden, so I think I'll just pip him a little higher over Shubman in this contest.
Okay, which West Indian will have a bigger impact according to you? Sunil Narayan, Sharfin Rutherford, I'll add one more, Andre Russell.
I think Narayan would have a big impact because he provides a bit with the bat and the ball. Rutherford Russell, not really. So I think Narayan would have a big role.
Okay, final one, Varun Chakravarti or R. Sai Kishore? Which spinner do you think will pick more wickets?
I think it will be Varun because, on a tactical standpoint, KKR have a number of lefties, so maybe Sai Kishore might not get too many overs to bowl. So I would perhaps hope Varun gets more wickets this time than Sai Kishore.
Okay, Varun Chakravarti, according to you, more of a KKR dominant because all three picks from Orko has been for the Kolkata Knight Riders, expecting KKR to get 2 points tonight in the home ground itself. But let's take a look at the players to watch out for Orko. Here are my picks. Not surprising, isn't it? I've gone with Sunil Narayan, Ajinkya Rahane, and Andrik Nokia are my three players for the Knights. For the Gujarat Titans, I'm going with Shubman Gill, Josh Butler, who had 100 last time he played at this venue in the IPL, and also Prasid Krishna. Any changes from your end?
Well, definitely not. I mean, the top three of Gujarat is what they boast about. That's the reason why they're winning most of the games, apart from that brilliant Indian bowling attack they have. So, certainly, Shubman, Sai Sudarshan also is someone we cannot write off. And Josh Butler in total would be the target for KKR to get rid of early. And I think Andrik Nokia has it in him because he's got a good matchup against Shubman Gill. If you
Correct.
remember, he sent the stumps flying in the past when he was, I think, in Delhi Capitals back then. So, he certainly has a sort of a matchup against Gill. Sai Sudarshan again can be rattled with early good pace and bounce, and perhaps Nokia could be the option. Maybe Vaibhav is a bit more low in terms of pace, so perhaps Nokia would have a big role, even in getting Butler for that matter. And Prasid Krishna, of course, as you said, he's someone who's bowling as a third seamer, can bowl an over in the power play, and a lot of overs in the middle and at the death. He's a real wicket taking bank, which they have certainly established in the peak of his form. He'll be someone who also knows KKR and Indian Gardens pretty well.
Correct.
So again, like Shubman, he'll be a threat for KKR. As for the KKR players, as we already talked about Nokia, certainly there'll be a big role of Sunil Narayan, the batter, the bowler, to have Varun Chakravarti. Again, we cannot talk about a KKR team without spin twins being talked about. So overall, a very interesting match, a good set of matchups in front. But again, Gujarat, with the kind of form they have, would be the ones to watch out for.
Absolutely, definitely, they will be the ones to watch out for. But more or less, you can say a pace dominant surface is what it's creating at the Eden Gardens. Mia Bhai, as per Rohan says, is he going to have something on the surface?
Well, could be certainly he's someone who likes to perform in conditions like these. If there's a bit of movement and bounce early on, Siraj with his Cristiano Ronaldo celebrations could do the talking. And because KKR average very low in their opening stand, the power play has been a bit of a concern. They're getting the runs, but the wickets are also falling. Maybe Quinton de Kock, maybe given another go. If not, they may look at Gurbaz or maybe Sisodia and play, a foreign and Roman Paul in the middle. That's something which only time will tell. So I think given the instability which KKR have in the top of the order, maybe Siraj could be a handful. Even Arshad Khan, for that matter, that left armer element could have
Possibly,
an
yeah.
important role in this game.
Absolutely, it could be highly possible, but yes, this is what it is in terms of the choices we have made as of now. But before I move on to the batters, I want to ask you, as you said about Sisodia, you said about Manish Pandey before as well. I understand KKR have a pre-planned strategy of whenever they bat first or second, it's going to be Ankush Raghuvanshi. Why not hold that and put in somebody else in terms of the situation of the game, because it's becoming too predictable, I must say.
Definitely. And I think if you look at the spin game, Ankush is better versus spin as compared to Venkatesh Iyer. So perhaps Venkatesh Iyer likes to get more pace on the ball, send him a little higher up. Even in the last season, we saw most of his runs came in the power play against the Pacers, batting at number three. So maybe he's batting a bit too low. Similarly, with Rinku Singh as well, is not getting the kind of time on the crease to make the kind of damage which he is known for. So perhaps instead of sticking to the template, they could perhaps tweak a little bit of that, and especially after the kind of jolt they received in the previous game, we would see such kind of changes coming up.
Okay, so this is possibly happening for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Any changes are expected in terms of the playing 11? We'll see that. Let's take a look at the top three battles I've gone for. As Rohan rightly mentioned, Mia Bhai is definitely in one of the categories. Mia Bhai versus Quinton de Kock is my battle number one. Rashid Khan versus Andre Russell is my battle number two. And I'm going for Varun Chakravarti versus Josh Butler as my third. Any other picks from your end?
Well, these are the battles even I would name. And I think the most crucial one would be Varun versus Butler, because Butler
Absolutely.
has torn apart an opposition last year, that is KKR, in this venue, and that too with a limping feet. So certainly, Butler is someone we cannot write off in Eden just this. With the kind of form he is, he's coming from a very good knock in the previous game, and I think he'll be a bit of a concern. But again, if you remember the matchup, Varun got him 4 times. I mean, he has hit Varun for a lot of runs, but he has gotten out to Varun 4 times as well. So
Correct.
I think that will be a very interesting match determining lineup, which I could talk of. Maybe Nokia versus Shubman Gill would be a very important matchup also in terms of
Okay.
KKR. As I previously stated, Gill has had his struggles against Nokia, so that will be an important battle. And as you rightly said, the other two battles also would be a very interesting one to watch.
Could be absolutely rightly mentioned. Who gets Sai Sudarshan out? That could be another thing which Kolkata need to strategize before stepping onto the field. Predicted playing 11 times, starting with the Kolkata Knight Riders. Let's take a look into that. As I said, it's becoming too predictable. I'm going with an unchanged 11. Are you still tempting of a Moin Ali into the side?
Well, depends on the conditions. I mean, if there's not much turn, I don't see too much sense of playing Moin Ali. I certainly am a very practical man. I don't believe in all those luck factors that if you play Moin, you win. I think this team is capable enough of winning even without Moin. So unless it's a tactical change, I don't see Moin Ali coming into the team just yet, unless it's a spin-friendly track. And I would give De Kock a longer run. Yesterday, even Pujara was saying the same in Crick Info that, people like De Kock are supposed to be back. And once they get used to it, they can get going. So even if you look at the bench, someone like a Gurbaz or Lavneet Sisodia certainly don't have the amount of class or capacity
Correct.
which De Kock has as a batsman. And also De Kock, the keeper against the mystery spinners, is very crucial for this team.
Oh, he's
So
a
I don't
fantastic
think
keeper.
KKR, yeah, I don't think KKR should look beyond De Kock just yet.
Okay, fair enough. But here's a question for you. Where should Rinku Singh bat according to you? Is it number five, six, or whatever your choice is?
I think number four, I think he's someone who can stabilize the innings. And, if he's given a bit of time, he goes on to play a big knock. But he hasn't been getting that since the last season. Maybe number four would be ideal for him. At number three, as I said, Venkatesh Iyer could be someone they may
Where
look
does
for if
Rahane
Narayan
play?
gets out. Of course, Rahane is someone who could open, because if Narayan doesn't work at the opening, maybe they may think of someone like
Wow,
Rahane and Dikok opening with a left-right combo. So I think they may look at Rahane sooner than later in the opening as well.
that's a very interesting choice from your end. You're going for form more than a name, to be honest, in the Kolkata Knight Riders. Gujarat Titans predicted 11, easy one, I must tell you. Let's take a look into that. White in something that is not broken. They are playing some serious, wonderful cricket, I must tell you. Both the batting unit, the bowling unit are doing well. Someday or the other, I repeat again, Orko, someday or the other is going to happen. The middle order will be asked questions. I don't know whether it's going to happen tonight or not, but same team.
Certainly, I think as you previously stated, why change something that's not broken? So there's no need to improve. There's no need to repair. They're at the peak of their form. Each players are doing well. They're fit
Correct.
enough. I think they'll retain the same composition. If you look at the number of overs a particular bowler gets, that could be scrutinized, because I think Sundar, if he's in the mix, he might get a go. He might be someone who will get a lot of overs to bowl, because
Okay.
KKR have 3 to 4 left-handers. So maybe Sundar could be in the mix. Otherwise, I don't see Sai Kishore getting too many overs to bowl. But again, if you look at KKR's woes in the past in the Eden Gardens when they played the RCB, Krunal Pandya was excellent, even though he was a left arm spinner. So if they look at it that way, then Sai Kishore might be back
Sai
and he
Kishore.
might have a big role to play. But
True that.
again, if that's not the case, if they look at the matchups and that technicality which people talk about that a left-hander should face a right-arm off spinner, then maybe Sundar will get a lot of overs in this game.
Washington Sundar, according to you, could be a possibility in this game. Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look into the predictions time now, putting you into the hot seat. Match number 39 in Kolkata. It's the Kolkata Knight Riders versus the Gujarat Titans. What's your percentage for this one, Orko?
Well, it will be a tough game. I mean, I have to be completely neutral, and I can't say that this team certainly looks like they will get past the Titans very easily. If you look at form, I think Gujarat have a slightly better chance, 55-45 in favor of Gujarat for me. But again, if you look at the law of averages, at some point of time, a top class team also has a bad day.
That is
This might be that one. And with KKR, a team that already had a very poor day might come back, especially playing at home. So I would be very happy if I'm proven wrong, but I always believe in form over repute. So I think Gujarat have a greater chance to win this game, 55-45 in GT's favor.
55-45 for the Gujarat Titans. He was super honest, I must tell you. He's going for form. Someday or the other, he says the top three law of average could be possible. Will it be tonight or not? We don't know, but we're expecting a high scoring game, as we rightly said. Thank you so much, Orko. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. It's the Gujarat Titans and the Kolkata Knight Riders locking horns at the Eden Gardens. Sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Number. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.